Today we're going to talk about something real, something raw. It's a topic most people don't want to touch. It's about how some boys out there think they need to act rich, show off, and play this game of impressing girls with flashy things. Meanwhile, true men, real men don't play that game. They act broke, stay humble, and hold back. Not because they can't, but because they're testing something deeper. They're looking for character, for loyalty. And this isn't about blame or shame. It's about learning the difference between real and fake, what lasts and what fades, and ultimately, knowing what it means to be a man. Boys want attention now, men build for tomorrow. Boys think a few dollars, a few nice things will get them respect. But men don't think in terms of show. They think in terms of legacy. Boys are obsessed with the temporary, the thrill, the high, the attention. Men, they're committed to what lasts. They build a life, a foundation, something solid, something real. A boy may ask, how can I look successful today? While a man asks, how can I be successful for life? That's the difference. A boy spends everything to look rich. A man invests to be rich inside and out. And when you invest in character, when you invest in values, you end up with people who stick around for who you are, not what you can give them. When a boy tries to impress by pretending to be rich, what's he doing really? He's hiding. He's covering up his insecurities, his doubts with shiny things, with what he thinks people want to see. It's a mask, a costume. The fancy clothes, the cars, the way he acts, it's not confidence. It's insecurity dressed up, insecurity screaming, look at me. Look at what I have. Why? Because he believes he's not enough without it. But here's the truth. A man who knows his worth doesn't need that kind of show. He's not out to impress, he's out to be real. Because deep down, real respect, real love, they don't come from what you have. They come from who you are. Picture this, a young guy working hard, but every dollar he makes, he spends trying to look like he's made it already. He's pouring it all into clothes, cars, nights out, thinking that'll earn him admiration, affection. But then, the facade wears off. And what's left? Shallow relationships, friendships built on sand. Because when you're only loved for your image, you're never truly loved at all. That's not the way men live. A man who knows his value, who's grounded, secure, he doesn't feel the need to prove himself to anybody. He doesn't live to impress, he lives to be real. He holds back on the spending, doesn't throw money around like it's nothing. Because he knows one thing, if you're playing games, if you're pretending, you attract the wrong kind of people. People who don't care about who you are, just what you can give. Men don't test people to manipulate, they test people to reveal. To find out who's really there when the flash is gone, when things aren't perfect, when life isn't easy. This isn't about acting broke for no reason, it's about being real about your lifestyle. Seeing if the person by your side is there for the right reasons. Think of a man who could flaunt his success but chooses not to. Instead, he lives humbly. He works hard. He saves. He builds. And the people who stick around, they're not there for free rides. They're there because they see his character. They see the real him. And they stay because they know his worth beyond the dollar signs. Listen, to those of you out there playing the game of impressing others, let me be clear, if you're acting rich, if you're surrounding yourself with people who only see dollar signs, you're going to wake up one day to an empty life. You're going to find yourself surrounded by people who don't care about you, just about what you have. I'm telling you, that life is hollow. It might feel good for a while. It might get you attention, but it won't won't last. Because when you base your relationships on possessions, when you attract people who only care about the surface, you're left with nothing when those things are gone. You're left wondering if anyone ever really cared about you at all. So ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth sacrificing who you are for people who don't even know the real you? A real man, he's humble. He doesn't need to put on a show. He knows his value isn't in what he wears, what he drives, or how much he spends. He stands by his principles. He's not afraid to be vulnerable. He's strong enough to say, "This is who I am. Take it or leave it." And when you can be real like that, you attract the kind of people who see your worth, not because of what you have, but because of who you are. Let me tell you something. Being humble doesn't make you weak. It makes you powerful. Humility, authenticity, those are strengths that make a man stand tall. People recognize when you're genuine. People respect you when you don't need the noise, when you're not out to prove anything. A man's true confidence doesn't need decoration. It's quiet, it's steady, and it's unbreakable. And to the women listening, to the women who may be watching the boys who flash cash, listen closely, look deeper. Don't fall for the shine, for the illusion of wealth. Don't mistake showmanship for value. Ask yourself, who is he really? Look at his character. Look at his values. Look at how he treats people when there's no one to impress, when there's nothing to gain. That's the man you want. Because the truth is, the man who doesn't need to impress, the man who's comfortable in his own skin, that's the man who will stand by you. That's the man who values loyalty, respect, honesty. That's the man who will build something real with you, something that doesn't fade with time. So, to all the boys out there trying to impress, I challenge you to grow into men. Step away from the masks, from the need to act rich just to win attention. Find strength in being real, in being humble, in knowing who you are without the flash. Because at the end of the day, real men don't chase after superficiality. They build character, trust, and love. They build a legacy that money can't buy. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, who do I want to be remembered as? The one who had it all but was hollow inside? Or the one who stood for something real, something unbreakable? Choose strength. Choose authenticity. Be a man who doesn't need to show off, because his actions, his loyalty, his character do the talking. Be the man who inspires, who builds, who leads. Be the man who's remembered not for what he had, but for who he was.